Hi, this is Mr. Wolfson, and in this video we're going to go over the Activities section of the Common App tab in your Common Application. Now the Activities section technically is a voluntary section. If you don't have any activities to report, you can click No and you can move on and that section will be complete. But most students are probably going to be adding in activities. So when you click Yes, it'll default to having one activity. You can add up to 10 different activities. But we're going to start with activity number 1, just so you can see the questions that they're going to be asking you. So open up activity number 1. First, you'll select the type of activity that it is, and you'll look for the most appropriate category that it falls into. So let's say that it is a part-time job. Go ahead and select that, and you can type in the most applicable description for your position. You could be a crew member, or you could be a shift leader. You'll add in the name of the organization that you worked for, and then the remaining information as it applies to these questions. So let's say you're going to add another activity. Go ahead and click Add Another, and you'll get the same questions that you answered for the first one. Let's say this time it is a varsity sport. You'll go ahead and select the name of the team that you are playing on. And again, if you are simply a participant on the team, you can write participant. If there's something more, you can describe that as well. And for sports that are fairly common, something like baseball, you don't have to describe exactly what it is to play baseball. You can give a brief, very brief description here, but you do need to enter something in. Now, for weeks spent per year, most sports seasons are approximately 15 weeks long. You can feel free to enter that even if you're not sure if it was exactly 15 weeks long. We're going to do one more example with activities. We're going to add activity 3. And here I'm going to show you how you can add in, say, a combination of things. So let's say you've done a number of small, short community service activities. What you can do is select community service, and again, type in participant or volunteer would be a good word here. And in this section where you're describing the activity, you can give a few examples of some of the community service that you've done, a couple of the locations where you've been, and maybe even the total number of hours that you've done community service for. If you've done something in 9th grade and then again in 11th grade, you can check multiple years. And again, if it's during the school year or during school break, you can check any of those boxes. And again, estimate approximately how many hours per week or how many weeks spent per year. So a few other things to share and to think about in this category. Number 1, some students may not have had a lot of opportunity to do a lot of activities, maybe because of family responsibilities. And that is actually a selection that you can make in this category in the activity section. So if you found that you are either babysitting for younger siblings or taking care of an elderly family member, for instance, you can describe that in your activity section as well. And especially if it's something that takes up a lot of your time, you can fill that in. And that's something that colleges are definitely going to take into consideration when they're looking at you as an applicant. They like to see the big picture of all of the things that you've done, including things that are part of your family responsibilities. And those are definitely things that are valued by the colleges during the application process. Now, another thing that you may find is that you have done a lot of things and you don't feel like you can get everything described well in just 10 activities or the way that they're asking you these questions. So what you can do in those cases is try to prioritize how you order your different activities. For the first 2 or 3 activities, you'd want to make sure that you're putting in things that are the most meaningful to you, things that you've done for the longest amount of time, and things that you've been most committed to. And highlight those, because those are going to be the first activities that the colleges are going to be learning about you. So make sure that they have an idea of who you are by ordering your activities in that particular way. And the other thing that you can do, if you went back and viewed the video on the college-specific questions, some of the colleges will allow you to upload a full activity resume or an activity sheet, or possibly even link to something online if you have an online presence. That's another way that some colleges will allow you to share a little bit more information about your activities.